Hi friends, welcome to my channel, Caffeine Queen Crafts. We are here tonight with a whip and chat. So, I said I was not going to kit up another project. I'm not kitting up another project. However, there's a situation. These are some coasters. I did film an unboxing for these a few days ago. It has not gone live yet. It will go up before this video goes up because there's a couple videos that are going to go up before that unboxing. So you're seeing this before you see me unbox these. These are coasters from Diamond Art Club. They're the succulent, yes, the succulent coasters. There's 6 of them. And the situation is that these are going to be the coasters in my classroom because I drink a lot of iced coffee. And I said I wasn't going to kit up any new projects, but I do need coasters in my classroom. So tonight we're going to be working on these coasters. However, we're not technically kitting up because the thing about these coasters is they go in order. So like this is only has symbols 1, 2, 3, 4. This only has 5, 6, 7. I think that's it. Yeah, and then 8's on this one. And once you finish with a color on one coaster, you're done with it. So that means that, you know, I can just cut open these baggies, dump them in my tray, put them in on the canvas, and then just be done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What we are gonna do, the only thing is that they did not include the DMC with these drills. And I don't really have the capacity to deal. So what we're gonna be doing is, I have a craft, a little back to school thing, which I can make a tutorial on if someone's interested in learning how to make a sensory toy with your leftover drills. I've been taking my trash drills and any drills that don't have a DMC to school in one of these little containers. So all of the drills, when I'm done with them, are just gonna go straight from the tray into this little plastic container from the Dollar Tree. So in terms of what I'm using, I have this tray from Forever Young. I grabbed the gray because I thought, you know, I like to have my colors contrast against my tray, so there's not really any grays in the succulent kit. This is a pen that I got from Shimmering Canvases. I will link it down below. I believe this was their raspberry cucumber or something. I'm not sure. But we are only going to be using the single placer today because this is like a freestyle kind of grid. We're not going to be multi-placing. And because we're not going to be multi-placing, I only have wax for my single placer. Whoopsies. This is Abercrombie Fierce from Pure Bliss Wax Co. I got this in a little grab bag sale they had where she just grabs old scents and ships them to you. So that's what we're using. Miso has come to say hello. As per usual, she's a little butt. And what we're gonna do when we are done with this is, before we do that, we're gonna seal it, I think, because I can already tell that the drill filled on these is not gonna be tight. So we're gonna seal it so that stuff doesn't get caught up in the wax and everything. And then we'll take these little cork things and put them on the backs. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And this, I think, is going to be the last diamond art accessory in my room. I said there was only going to be one diamond art thing in my room. That's not true. I might get some of the Winnie the Pooh characters for a bookshelf, but you know, for now, I said there was only going to be one diamond painting thing in my room. Oh no, that was a lie, but there's only one big diamond painting in my room. The others, love how that smells, are little things, right? There's gonna be these coasters And gonna be the coasters, and there's gonna be the picture. There's a picture of a coffee mug by my beverages, where I get my coffee from, to be decorative. All right, so here we go. We're gonna start with just sort of the first color I see, which in this case is color 20. Miso is curious, as always. She is being a bit of a nuisance, but we'll see how she does. The links to everything I'm using will be down below. This color, whatever it is, don't have the DMC, whoopsies. But this color really reminds me of Paradize, which is my birthstone, August baby. I'm an August baby, and I know someone's gonna ask, I am a Virgo. All right, my birthday's actually coming up. It's gonna be exciting. By the time you watch this, my birthday will have passed. All right, we're peeling back our plastic. Glue is nice and sticky. I said in my unboxing that these feel a little flimsy, and I'm low-key worried, but we're gonna be optimistic. All right. I once again, like in my last WIP and chat, I did not write down any notes about what I wanted to talk about. Not that I script my WIP and chats, but you know, it's nice to know what we're going to be discussing, to think of the things I wanted to tell you guys. But you know, we're here. We're wrapping up this first full week of school. So I'm filming this on a Thursday, and the kids went back to school on last Thursday, and then obviously we had the weekend after Friday, because that's how time works. And now we are finishing up our first full week of school. And it's good. It's been nice to, you know, be back at work. I forgot this, but I low-key think that I might be a morning person, because I'm just very chipper in the morning, which most of my coworkers are not. So we're gonna have to watch that. I'm walking around singing songs from Singing in the Rain with my coffee, and everybody else is just blearily looking around. Oh, yeah. I get that from my mom. My dad is definitely not a morning person. But my mom was. She would get up at 5 to meditate and journal and be productive, whatever. Oof. Yeah, there's a lot of gapping in this. I said this in the unboxing, so if, you know, you're watching this after you've watched the unboxing, I'm wondering if, I know that I've heard through the grapevines, I shouldn't say I know, I have heard, I have not confirmed, that Diamond Art Club got the tables that they put on sale recently from Joann's, which recently closed. And I wonder if this was another situation where they got something from a closing craft store. Whoopsies. Because this does not feel very Diamond Art Club. Like, you know, I've done their Sparkle Pals, and I feel like, which is a very similar style where you free place, and I wonder if the drill field felt tighter on that than it does on this. But maybe I'm just being overly critical. We'll see how it turns out. Might have to do a post review once this is done. I plan on this not being a big priority, because, you know, we really just need 2, maybe 3 coasters. Yeah, I would say we need 3 coasters in my room. The most urgent one is the one by my desk, because there's just always something on my desk. I am a beverage goblin. I have all sorts of drinks with me at all times. Like, I'm looking around and there's just empty cups all over my diamond painting area because I need to have beverages. And I prefer them to be iced and not in mommy's glue. Miso. You are annoying. Come here. Look, your chair's open. Come to your chair. Not in mommy's glue is like probably the most frequent sentence ever said on my channel. Because it's what I say when Miso's invading my personal space when there's open glue around. Oof, that baby girl is something else. Anyway. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's just like always some kind of iced beverage because I go to the cafeteria. The cafeteria ladies all know me now because I go to the ice machine probably twice a day to get more ice for my various beverages. And there's just always a drink sweating on my table. So most urgently, we need a coaster at my desk. And then I would like to get a coaster for my Paris desk, my little assistant, who also likes her iced beverages. So she also needs a coaster, but she wanders more than I do. She goes hither and thither. She does more like active tasks, so she's not tied to her computer the way that I am, which is why I don't think she needs a coaster quite as urgently as I need mine. And then we have like the computer station by our smart board. That's also going to need a coaster. And then if I can, I'd like to put coasters at the various, we've got like little centers in our room. If you're not in education or don't have a child that has recently been in education, centers is when there's like multiple tables and areas of the room and there's a different activity at each one and you just sort of have the kids move through them. So I would like to have a coaster at our different centers. We have 3 different centers, so that's going to be all 6 coasters. Sort of divvied up so that, wherever a teacher moves in the room, there is a spot for them to put down their beverage and not leave a ring. This actually does look quite nice. I am worried about all that open space, which is why we're going to seal it. I shouldn't worry because we're going to seal it, so it doesn't matter, but it looks good. I'm quite happy with it so far. Oh. But that's why I'm probably going to do 3 coasters, make sure that they get done relatively soon, and that shouldn't be a big deal. This style of diamond painting at this size does not take super long. And it really is not that big a deal if the rest of the coasters aren't in before September, because my position, if you're new here at school, is I am the reading interventionist. And that means that I, along with the math interventionist, we assess the kids 3 times a year to see what reading level they're at, what math level they're at. We identify any kids who are at risk of not meeting grade level expectations, and we pull them for small groups with extra practice to help them catch up. And because we have to assess the entire school, and some of the kids in our school are young, which means you have to test them one-on-one. You can't do it as a whole group. That means that the testing takes about 2 weeks to get done. So we start testing. We've been prepping all of our materials this week, making sure our testing materials are up to date, going over data from last year. I wasn't there last year, but you know. And I've been going from class to class to do like get to know you games with all the kids. Make sure that they all have met me before I just show up and I'm like, take this test, because I would be not very wild about that lady. You know, just making sure we are present and that the staff and the students are all comfortable with us. So, yeah, we have a good time. But we start testing on Monday. And because it's going to take 2 weeks, we're not going to have kids in our room for 2 weeks until we get all our data in and make our groups. And I have no idea what our groups are going to be. My math counterpart has a bit of an idea because, you know, he was here last year, but for me, it's going to be a big surprise. I suppose I could probably make some educated guesses based off the data I've seen from last year, but I like to be an optimist and think that kids maybe made some gains in the summer. And also we have new students. Some students have left, so it is never a guarantee. I'm excited, though.
Please unlock the device to continue.
No one was talking to you, Google. Don't be creepy. Oof. I might have to pause filming for a bit. Because my dad is out right now. When he comes home, I need to talk to him about a couple things. But hopefully not. It's good to be back at work. I miss being at work. Not that I didn't love being a stay-at-home mom for the last few years, but teaching is also good, and it's what I'm good at, and I do enjoy it. So, going along with this. All right. I'm just double checking that I didn't miss any on this half. I think we're good. And then in terms of what else is going on, my birthday is coming up. Usually, I throw a murder mystery party. But this year we're postponing because, you know, we're starting a new job and the new school year, and it's the end of the first week. There was just a lot of stuff going on. And I did not feel like I had the mental capacity to take care of everything I needed to take care of at work and do my birthday. So I told everyone, we will still play our game, but it's going to be like, whoopsies. It's going to be later, like probably in September, once all the kids are tested and my groups are made and I'm kind of more in the groove. And I'm not like still actively setting up my classroom. Some people have said my classroom actually looks rather bare. I don't think it looks bare. I think, because my philosophy is that you decorate as you go. Like, you know, that children should be in charge of making a decent portion of the decorations. And that, like, you don't put up posters until you have taught the concept, because if it's just up on the wall, it doesn't mean as much to the kids. So, like, I have posters, like, ready to go, laminated and, like, in the back that we're gonna pull out and talk about once we start doing our work, like about reading strategies, how you always start from the left, like period means to stop, like all, like, you know, posters that say things like that, but like I'm not putting them up until after I've talked to the kids about them. And then, yeah, this pre-made, you know, there's a kind of a phenomenon in teaching right now, I think, where everyone's doing all these pre-made posters, and I don't mind pre-made posters. Like, I obviously put the alphabet up without us having to talk about it. Or I would if I had the, because I do intervention, I need a specific alphabet that was not available, so I'm waiting for it to ship. But yeah, because the district had to order an extra. And, like, I obviously am going to put that up without talking to the kids about it. Like, there's some stuff that's like, duh. I don't have number charts this year because I'm not teaching any form of math, so I just need reading. But if I did, I would put up my, like, you know, numbers with your base 10 grids and all that so that the kids can count out the dots and see how the number matches, or the equivalent number line thing that goes with the curriculum you're using, and so on and so forth. But, like, stuff like that. But, you know, like, certain posters that go up on the wall need to be made by or with the kids or reviewed with the kids before you put it up. That's just my personal philosophy. It's something that, I can't believe I'm going to say this, the older teachers tend to believe. The younger teachers usually go for the aesthetic look, which I like some aesthetics. Like, there's a diamond painting in my room. I have Technology Meltdown by Randall Spangler up in my room. Everyone who comes in comments on how awesome it looks. It's quite beautiful. But then the project that I've been doing with my leftover drills at school, I don't think that it works as well with the drills in it, but it's a very cool sensory toy with the drills in it, so I am going to keep making a couple with old drills in them. What it is so part of the reading intervention that I do is, you know, you have to engage the kids, all their sensory systems, sight, sound, and kinetic, which is, you know, activities, doing things. And they want you to, like, engage the kids' sensory system. And a way that they do that is there's these trays of sands that teachers are supposed to use now, where, you know, you draw out letters or names and spell words in the sand. And I hate the sand for many reasons. The first is, it's sensory sand, which if you've never spent time with sensory sand, it's thicker, it's not quite as grainy, it like kind of falls apart in a different way, and it's supposed to not give people the ick. I say supposed to. It still gives me the ick. I don't like touching it. I hate it. I would suck it up for the kids if I really had to, but there is another reason I don't like it. It has nothing to do with my sensory system, and does have to do with things being sanitary. So, all the kids from every group, because you only get like one tray, like there's only 5 trays of sand. And if you've got a group of 6 kids, people have to share. And then the next group that comes in has to use the tray that the old kids use. The kids in your previous, I shouldn't say old kids, like, you know, if you have first grade in there and first grade's done and they leave, then kindergarten comes in and they touch the sand, then second grade, then third, like, you're sharing the sand across all classes. And I don't know about you, but I have never heard of a way to clean sand. It's just not possible. Everybody's sticking their dirty fingers in the sand because we love kids, but man, are they gross. And everybody's sticking their dirty sand in their fingers and then going about their day. And that just seems like a great way for everyone to get pink eye. Not doing that. So I thought I would try making, I've been calling them gel packs, but I don't think that's what they're called. I can do a tutorial on how to do this if you want. Leave a comment down below if you would like a tutorial on how to do this. You take a flat iron, hair gel, and you don't do anything to your hair. I'm going to tell you that right now. Also, make sure it's a flat iron. You're okay with low-key ruining. That looks nice. I like that. It's a good color. And now we're going to put our leftover drills into this little container to take to school to do this thing that I'm talking about. Anyway, you take a laminator pack, hair gel, and a flat iron, and glitter or drills. If you want to do it where you can write the letters, it needs to just have the glitter. The drills make it too hard to write with. But you can put the drills in if you just want a sensory toy, because it is a cool sensory toy. Close off, heat up the flat iron and close off for 22 or 21. Only 3 colors in this, okay. There's 21. You close off 3 sides. After the flat iron is heated, you melt with the flat iron 3 sides. Like if this is your pack, you leave an open side. Sorry, this is a tangent. Like if you have this plastic bag as your pack, you leave an opening. You melt the 3 sides with the flat iron. Then you put like 4 scoops of hair gel and your glitter and everything inside your little hair gel pocket, your little laminator pocket. And then you close the last side. Make sure everything's tight and sealed. And then you mix it all together and you have what I've been calling a gel pack. If there's just glitter in there, kids can write on it. But like some people, like some of my friends who are still teaching special ed, which I'm not in anymore and I'm sad about. Some of my friends who've been teaching special ed asked me to make them with the drills in it, because the drills, while you can't really write like letters or anything when the drills are inside, it is like a fun kind of sensory experience to, you know, move the drills around and squish and all that. So, and they can be popped, so you do have to be at least a little bit careful, but as like a sensory toy, they're pretty fun. And it's a good use for leftover drills. If you don't want to save your drills, but then you feel guilty about, you know, whatever, you can make a child in your life a sensory toy, or you a sensory toy. I won't judge. I went to Walmart, I bought a bunch of, they call them like sensory strips. They're these stickers that are about this long, and they have different textures on them, and you stick them on things like desks for the students to like rub. I put them by all the keyboards in the classroom so that, you know, wherever I'm sitting on the computer, if my left hand can just be seeking some sensoriness. So make one for you. Make a gel pack with the leftover drills for you. It's not a bad experience, although my parrot doesn't like it. She's like, I wouldn't, when she tried, like, you know, when she started squishing the first one, she goes, I don't care for this. This freaks me out. But also, I would prefer working with this than getting the stomach flu from a kindergartner. She's like, so I'm going to suck it up. Although when I offered it to one of my friends, she was like, Sarah, why would, like, it's nice sometimes when kids aren't here and you can have sort of a mellow day. She was joking, obviously. She took the gel packs, but because no teacher roots for kids to get sick, but you know, I laughed. But she took the gel packs because she agreed with me. We don't want the pink eye. And anyone who's out there thinking kids just need to learn to wash their hands. We've shown them, but kids are just gross. I have a toddler. She shoves her fingers in her mouth, then tries to stick them up my nose, then grabs grilled cheese off the floor, even though there's grilled cheese on a plate and eats that. And she does all of that in the span of 10 seconds before you can even, like, start running after her. Kids are just gross. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They don't have the same, you know, ick that we do, which is fine. And it's good because kids are supposed to be outside, rolling around in dirt and getting nasty in order to, you know, have fun, fulfilling childhoods. They're supposed to be gross. It's natural and normal. But, I'm an adult and I do have the ick factor and I don't want to get pink eye. So, gel packs. And that's just my personal opinion on sand. If you feel differently, like if you're listening to this and you're like, Sarah, I also do the reading program with the sand and I love the sand. great. I'm not going to tell anyone. There were a few teachers that were like, no, I'd rather do the sand. I know it's not the most sanitary, but I like the sand. Cool. The sand is just not my jam, and that's fine. So we're making gel packs and now sensory toys with my leftover drills. It's just fun. Yeah. No, I think some of the teachers said no, they would prefer the sand to the gel packs because the gel packs will pop. So like the super little kids that wouldn't use it properly and would squish it and whatever with it, not the best option, but it is good. However, use a flat iron that you are okay with getting hair gel on. Like low key. I've been primarily making them with a flat iron that a coworker had in school because it had glue on it. And she used it for a different purpose. I don't remember what, but that's like, has become just everyone on staff's designated. I need to use a flat iron for some kind of arts and crafts project. And we all use that flat iron so that we don't ruin another flat iron. Because it still works. It's just, you know. It's just not. I wouldn't put it on your hair. Boop. All right. That also looks nice. Nice little accent of orange for the succulent. All right, trigger warning. If drills mixing bothers you, look away. I'm so sorry. Whoop. All right, last up, we just need 22. Oh, it's right there. 22 is blue. Okay. I was not really expecting that, but okay. All right, let's get it. Get it. All right. That's pretty cool. All right. Not a lot of 22. So far, though, out of the 2 colors we've done, I have not run out of one. All right. Let's see. What else is up in the land of Sarah? I think, that's about it. Just school. And doing school stuff and working my little behind off. I haven't gotten to go to spin in a long time because of back to school. I texted my spin instructor the other day, just being like, I haven't forgotten you. I am so sorry. I went back to work and it's back to school. And she responded, I know. You're not the first teacher that I have, had in a class. All my students who are teachers, August comes, I don't see you guys. May comes, I don't see you again. Then, you're back the rest of the year. Which is true. If you have a friend who's a teacher during August, don't expect a lot of them. Or September if they don't start till September. When I was in New York, we didn't start till September. That was nice. But you have a teacher friend. During August, we can't do anything. We're useless during August. Oh, I might not have to seal this. I'm feeling there's no glue. I like that. Where these gaps are, there's no glue. So like here where I put it, I feel a little bit of glue. I might still seal it just to be super safe. But I like that there's no glue in like these dark green parts. Like that seems like just massive gaps of glue, like without glue to leave. But no, there's no glue. That's cool. All right, I'm more impressed now than I was when I unboxed this and started it. That's like a really cool little feature. We'll see how sticky it feels when I'm done, and I'll decide in the moment whether or not I need to seal it. You know, after I just spent all that time talking about how the kinetic sand is gross at school, for me to then just be like, open glue that catches dust and cat hair, that would also be low-key gross. So, no, but there's not a lot of natural light in my room, which is why if you watch the unboxing, I unboxed, what did I all unbox? I unboxed like a decent amount of stuff from my classroom in that unboxing video. I say if you watch that unboxing, the unboxing video that is not live, that I haven't even edited yet, that you obviously have not watched. But in that video, I unboxed also like a little magnet set that I got for my class. That was super cool. And it's like got a leaf and flower pattern thing, and something that I do when I'm in a classroom with no natural light, which we only have one very thin window in my room, is I tend to pick decor that's plant themed, because then greenery, even fake greenery, gives your brain the impression of light. Hence why we are, you know, doing succulents for coasters this year. This is fun. I am enjoying this project. It's turning out really well. I wasn't sure about the blue, but it looks good. I was worried about that, but it looks nice. Okay. My classroom, the first time I ever had a classroom, the theme I used was lemons. So like my alphabet had like lemons and plants on it. My number chart, I had these inspirational posters. I actually dug up the inspirational posters and I was like, oh, let's use these again. Yay. I dug up my alphabet too, but I was like, no. Because I wanted to use the intervention alphabet. Look at that. That's nice. That looks good. Let's see. It doesn't feel sticky. Like I'm putting my hand down, it doesn't feel sticky. Oh, if I push real hard, I do feel some sticky. So I am probably going to seal it. But I'll go ahead and I'll put the little cork on it so you guys can see how that goes. Cork thing. And try to get it as center as I can. Yeah, there's already a cat hair stuck in it. We're definitely going to have to seal it. Okay. That looks right. It's also how I do my bulletin boards. I eyeball it. I don't measure. Okay. That's good. That's good. We are definitely going to want to seal it though. Yeah. For a second I got excited thinking we wouldn't have to. I am impressed that they managed to keep the glue out of these areas here. That's pretty cool. But we're definitely going to want to seal this to be safe, or at least me personally. If you've done these coasters and you have not wanted to seal them, you know, let me know in the comments. All right, we'll start another one. We'll start the one for my assistant. Oh, it was very sweet. I'm trying to remember what her favorite color is. I think she liked orange. I don't know. If she decides, I'll do this one for her for now because I can't remember. No, blue. That's her favorite color is blue. All right, we'll do this one. We'll do this one for her. And once they're all done, if she wants a different one, I'll obviously let her pick a different one. All right. As you can see, that did not take me very long at all. I don't think I've even been talking an hour. I am going to start getting into the content, though. The content talk. So that's where I talk about whatever content I've been watching / consuming. In terms of books, I have not made any progress at all on the Lincoln Assassin book, the 12-Day Manhunt book. Manhunt. It's just called Manhunt. I have not made any progress on it at all because back to school. 17. I see 17. So that's the one we're going to do first. My excuse for not meeting any of my goals this month, I really should not set any goals in August. It should just be like, if I finish something, it's a miracle. Like, I still can't believe that I finished that, like, I finished The Bumblebee. I finished by Carla Joseph. I finished that, Crystal Ball. Keep your eyes peeled this week for my post review on that Bumblebee diamond painting, because I did have some thoughts. Yeah, so I've been working, outside of this, I've been doing the Stitch Along from Flossie Fox Shop. So I've been doing that because one of the dragons did just release. I will link her shop on that down below. I have not made any progress on Manhunt. We were talking about books because it's just back to school. I really should just, you know, when it comes to setting goals, just draw big X through August. And let's be real, we should also draw a big X through May, because May can be wrapping up the school year. It's just as exhausting as finishing it. And that's fine. And then in terms of other books, I'm still working on Nonviolent Communication, which I started last week, and that's about like ways to talk to people and like focus on needs and not like results, and expressing feelings and not using attacking judgmental language. It's used a lot in education. It's kind of dense though, so I have to do it slowly. I really have only been doing like a chapter every week or so. I haven't started this week because, you know, I don't want to say back to school again, but it was back to school. That's why. And then the other audiobook I'm listening to is Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. They made that one into a movie with Michael B. Jordan, which I have not seen, but think I might want to watch. That looked good. And I have not marked anything off. I need to update. I did a while back like a clear out my TBR pile thing with, you know, to like detox all my books, because I do have a lot of unread books. And I need to update it because there were, when I made it for the audiobook section, I just looked at not started books instead of unfinished books. And so there were a few books, including Just Mercy and Nonviolent Communication, that I started but never finished. So we're going back to them. So I need to update that notebook before my month in review, when we go ahead and cross off all of my reading achievements. I would really love to finish Manhunt before the end of August, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I would definitely need to read it more than I am right now. I haven't touched it all week, except to move it in and out of my bag. Whoopsies. Pretty. All right. Into the drill void they go. At the end of this is going to be an interesting representation of the color palette. All right. Now it's whatever color we find next. Feeling 8, no. 24, no. 6, 23, nope, nothing in that. 5, 2, 14, yes, 14. Okay, 14. In terms of what I've been watching, I'm still on my true crime kick, though I kind of feel it coming to an end. Because I just, you know, I don't want to say I'm getting depressed, but I'm getting low-key depressed about all the horrible things that people do to each other. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've been watching an update on Our Family, which is about that couple that allegedly they were family vloggers. I don't think they are anymore. And they adopted a child from China, and then they rehomed him, and it's alleged that, you know, they adopted him just for the views, and that's a really depressing documentary. That one might be the one that finally does me in on my whole true crime thing. So we're gonna finish that up. I've been cross-stitching while I've been watching TV. Some people find that too distracting. I like cross-stitching while watching TV. It's fun. In terms of also what I've been listening to, I've been kind of having Vitamin String Quartet going in my classroom, which I'm sure my Bridgerton fans recognize. Vitamin String Quartet plays like, they're a quartet that does classical music, but they cover like modern songs. Like you can put on their Fall Out Boy album and it's them singing, you know, like Dance Dance or Sugar We're Going Down or My Songs, Know What You Did in the Dark as classical music. And it's a nice way to have like more interesting music, but that's still like nice background noise and is school appropriate, because I've had kids coming in and out of my room to say hi because I've become somewhat popular because I just have been showing up to play games with them. And they're very sweet kids. They're very sweet. Trying to get them pumped about reading and, you know, getting to know me, which is always great. Yeah, so that's what I've been reading and watching. Oh, there was something on Netflix, which was The Longest Third Date. And I think the fact that I loved that one so much kind of was a good indicator to me, okay, it might be time to move off the true crime. Because it was about a couple who met on Hinge, which is a dating app. They lived in New York at the time. And they went on a couple dates in New York in 2020. And then in March of 2020, they decided, you know, like, hey, why don't we go to Costa Rica for a weekend for our third date? Like, it'll be a fun adventure. And they did. And then COVID hit New York real hard while they were gone. And all their flights got canceled. And they couldn't get back. And they were, I think, together in Costa Rica for like 3 months. Just sort of stuck together. They'd been on 3 dates, so they called it the longest third date. Because, you know, they're like, the whole thing was technically our third date. Just insane. They went viral during COVID, you know, when people found out about them. Because he was vlogging, you know, and filming a lot of things the whole time. And it was really quite a sweet show. I'm not going to spoil the ending about whether or not they're still together, but if you're sort of in the mood for some like nice, wholesome, you know, cute fun, I would recommend it. It's very precious. And I think just me being like, oh, I really like this. This was a nice breath of fresh air. It's like, oh, you probably have been watching too much true crime. And listening to too much true crime. That being said, though, once I finish Just Mercy, my next audiobook is going to be another book from the Bosch universe. I think Void Moon is next, which I believe is back to the FBI agent. These work up very quickly. Yeah. Da-da-da-dum. Yeah, I really want to make sure my Pierre feels good and welcome. Like, she hasn't really decorated her desk or anything yet. And I want her to feel like she has a good space and, you know, that she can put things up and she's considered in the classroom. Like, there have been a couple times where I've asked her opinion and it's been like, oh, yeah, I can, here's what I think. You know, so it'll be good. It'll be good. Hopefully she like succulents. I was kind of trying to do this as a surprise. And honestly, if at the end of the year she wants to keep it, I won't mind. It's fine. It'll give me an excuse to, make more coasters. Have different things in my room. There's a few crafts, actually, that I need to do for the room. That's the other thing. I'm just going through this list of crafts that I need to do. But I shouldn't get too much into it because I do need to wrap this up. But there's just a lot of little stuff that I want to do, like little personal touches of things I made that I want to put up. All right. Well, did I miss anything? What we're reading, what we're watching, what we're listening to? Right now we're listening to the sound of my child getting upset. She needs to go back to sleep. All right. Well, that sounds like a good indicator that it's time to wrap up this WIP. If you made it all the way to the end, why don't you leave me a baby emoji or a crying emoji or both, dealer's choice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your caffeine is hitting just right and that you have an amazing day. Bye.